I am Professor Ramesh from the University at Buffalo. I'm a professor of management science and systems in the School of Management. Particular area of research which I'm going to talk about in today's meeting is essentially dealing with the carbon footprint that comes from large data centers across the globe. People have used different notations to explain what carbon is. So as energy consumption increases, it's basically a relationship between demand and supply. As demand increases, supply also increases, and as a result, the emissions also increase. Large data centers, particularly supercomputing centers, they are big consumers of energy, both in terms of heating and cooling that is involved in data centers, as well as the heat management within the racks of servers that exist in the data center. So essentially, from a supply-demand perspective, data centers, they are big consumers of energy. Somewhere I read by the year 2030, roughly about 10% of the total energy consumption in the whole world would be done by the big data centers, which are running our internet and all cloud computing and all the major operations that happen in the virtual space. So to address this problem, people have approached them from a variety of perspectives. For example, there are hardware solutions to minimize the demand for energy. That requires fundamental changes in the system configurations of data centers, like hardware configurations, which is not a practical, viable solution in practice. So naturally, other approach to minimizing the energy consumption is by looking at how energy is being consumed. Are there ways in which the operation or operational management or the functionality of the consuming agents can be trimmed in such a way without really touching the hardware? Can we reduce the energy consumption? So the goal of my research is to reduce the energy consumption in data centers, the heat load they generate, so that if the demand for energy goes down, naturally less energy will be used. What we observed from our study was the way we schedule the resources in a large supercomputing center to the jobs which are run on the center can significantly decrease your energy consumption without actually touching the hardware, without actually doing anything about the environment directly, just by proper allocation of the computing resources to the jobs which are being run. You can reduce the energy consumption from 10 to 30%. What we observed is in data centers, when the demand is fairly high, it makes sense to pack all the requirements of every job in as few servers as possible. Similarly, if the demand is low, a medium for that matter, it makes sense to distribute the resources to the jobs across the board, across the servers in such a way, like a load balancing algorithm, that will minimize your energy consumption. So the algorithm which we have developed is a very simplistic. It can be used like a ready reckoner in a database center. In a data center, all you have to do is look at the ready reckoner and evaluate the total allocation requirements, total computing resource requirements in the system. If the resource requirement is below a certain threshold value, you load balance. If it is above the threshold value, you pack. It's a very simple algorithm. So typically, we live in a world of AI. So you can look at it like an AI approach, which combines a predictive aspect and a prescriptive aspect based on the actual experiences of the data center administrators. So the system can help the data center administrator how to manage. Nobody really pays much attention to the demand side of the equation. Everybody is talking about supply, how to go from fossil to non-fossil, how to create hydrogen as an alternate energy source, how to tap into solar energy, all those things. Nobody really pays attention to the demand side. So I would say focusing on the demand side is as important as focusing on the supply side. So with this, I think I would say that a parallel focus on both demand and the supply would lead to a better environment for us down the road.